Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of
Her Body, Her Way.
Yay! So if you're new here, this is a podcast which is a safe space for honest, cozy, and shame-free discussions about women's health. And one of the things that we care most around here is breaking down topics that affect so many women but are all widely misunderstood.
Yeah, exactly. And one of those topics which we will be covering today is PCOS,
Mm-hmm.
which is Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
I briefly touched on this in our introduction episode because it is something that I have experienced myself. And so I'll be bringing my own personal views to this as well.
Mm. And it's actually one of the most common hormonal conditions in women. I've also done a bit of my own research where I found that it affects 1 in 10 women globally.
I actually read that too, and that's actually so bizarre because to me, within the current population, that's approximately 413 million women going through this.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, like you know what? I actually work in the ultrasound clinic and so many women come in to do scans for PCOS symptoms.
Wow, that's crazy.
Mm.
So, yeah, wow. I can't believe I'm not alone.
Yeah, girl.
So some of the things we will be talking about today is what PCOS actually is, common symptoms, misconceptions, things that actually can help manage it.
Mhm.
So, as I also kind of briefly spoke about this in the first episode, I wanted to revisit it because it gives some context to why I care so much about women's health conversations.
Mm.
So, for me, my PCOS journey started with noticing, oh my gosh, my mask is falling over my lip. I cannot talk. So my PCOS journey started with me noticing that something just felt really off with my body. Like my cycle wasn't consistent. I was experiencing symptoms that I didn't understand, and there was a lot of confusion around what was normal and what wasn't.
Mm.
Like a lot of women, I remember feeling I was trying to piece, everything together, piece all the information from different doctors, Google searches, and other women's experiences. And what I realized pretty quickly is that PCOS isn't a one size fits all solution or condition.
Right.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that 2 women can both have PCOS, but they can have completely different symptoms?
Yeah, exactly right. And you know what? That's something I wish more people talked about earlier because when you're first diagnosed, it can feel like really overwhelming. You start hearing things about hormones, fertility, insulin resistance, and it can feel like there's suddenly, so much happening to your body. But the biggest thing I've learned over time is that understanding your body changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you start learning about what PCOS it actually is, like how hormones interact and how lifestyle factors can support your body, like things start to make a lot more sense.
Yeah. And honestly, that's, what today's episode really is about, just education and clarity.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Oh wait. Oh, not that one.
So yeah, let's start with the basics. What is PCOS and what does it stand for?
Okay, so pretty much as I've said the last 3 times.
If you were listening.
Oh, that's so funny. So PCOS stands for polycystic. You know what? I should be asking you, what does PCOS? Do you remember? Okay, no. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, what does it stand for?
So PCOS stands for Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome. And despite the name, it's actually a hormonal condition, not just something related to the cysts on the ovaries. In fact, many women with PCOS doesn't have cysts at all. So PCOS is usually diagnosed based on 3 main factors. So it's irregular or absent periods, higher levels of androgens, which is sometimes, called the male hormones, polycystic ovaries, visible on an ultrasound. So you typically need 2 of those 3 to receive a diagnosis. Um, so what's happening underneath is a hormonal imbalance that can affect ovulation, metabolism, or other systems in your body. And because hormone, oh my gosh, I have trouble saying hormones. Because hormones, yeah. Anyway, and because hormones influence so many things, PCOS can show up in a lot of different ways.
Interesting. So, from what I've heard and what I've researched, is that some of the main symptoms of it would be like irregular or missed periods, acne, excess facial hair. What else? Hair thinning, weight change. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, not everyone experiences these, hey?
Yeah, exactly. So some women may mainly struggle with cycle irregularity, while others might notice more skin or metabolic symptoms. But for myself personally, I've experienced irregular periods, hair thinning, weight fluctuation, mood changes, fatigue, and even polycystic ovaries visible on an ultrasound. So, yeah, that's why PCOS can sometimes take a long time to diagnose as well.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I'm experiencing like the whole damn list. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's crazy.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
I didn't add. Oh, I know I did say mood changes, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, what would you say like the most common misconceptions about PCOS?
Okay, so there are a few myths about PCOS that come up constantly. One of them being is that you can't get pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is one of the biggest fears people have when they hear about you know when they hear about PCOS and when they've been diagnosed with it. And that was one of the things that when the doctor came to me, they were like, it would be it would be hard to have kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
But thankfully he didn't say it's impossible, because he
Mhm.
actually told me after that it's not impossible, it's just really hard to have kids.
Mhm.
I was 18 at the time, not that I was thinking about kids back then, but like,
But
well,
still, it's a
yeah,
little bit soul crushing to have that. Like
yeah,
a doctor just straight up tell you that, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly. And it was actually one of my biggest fears as well,
Mm.
as I got older. But I've since learned that having PCOS doesn't mean you're infertile. It can make ovulation less predictable, but many women with PCOS conceive naturally or with support, so it's not impossible. Is
Okay.
the big, answer to that question.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, let me have a think. So another mist could be mist. Myth? Oh my god, that's embarrassing. Oh my gosh, imagine it just continued. I almost thought that was like the right word, and then I was like, mist. Um, so another myth that people have is that it can affect your ovaries and only your ovaries. And well, PCOS actually involves multiple systems, really, including hormones, insulin regulation, and metabolism. And that's why lifestyle factors like sleep, stress, and nutrition can make a massive difference to how PCOS affects you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another one actually, and that's that there's only one treatment that works for everyone.
Mhm.
Bah-bah.
Wrong.
Wrong. Okay,
Mhm.
bluntly, there isn't. To put bluntly, really.
Mm.
Management usually involves a combination of approaches tailored to the individual. Like I said, PCOS isn't a one size fits all condition, and there certainly isn't a one size fits all solution.
Mm.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
yeah. So with everyone else, with everyone, like there are different things that you can do to manage that, but it affects people differently.
Okay.
Essentially, yeah.
So, like, do we know what actually causes PCOS?
Uh not not completely, no.
Mm.
But there are a few factors researchers believe contribute to these things, and like these include genetics. It often, it can often run in families, or it could be hormonal imbalances, inflammation, insulin resistance,
Mhm.
um, and sorry, and actually, insulin resistance in particular is very common in PCOS.
Okay, so basically meaning that the body has a harder time to regulate blood sugar and insulin?
Yes, exactly.
Mm.
Um, and that can sorry, and that can then influence hormone production and
Mhm.
ovulation.
Okay. So I've written a list of common questions about
Yeah.
PCOS. Are you ready?
Yes, hit me.
Okay. So, number one,
hmm
can PCOS be cured?
Okay. So there's currently a moment of pause. Let it build up. No, I'm kidding. There is no cure. No.
Damn! Damn it!
So currently there is no cure. Sadness.
No.
But it can absolutely be managed.
Okay.
And many women see huge improvements in symptoms with the right support.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Okay, so what about diet? Does diet matter for PCOS?
So diet can play a supportive role, particularly when it comes to blood sugar balance.
Mm-hmm.
And that, that might include balanced meal, protein, fiber, whole foods, just to name a few.
Mm-hmm.
But it is important to avoid extreme restrictions because that can become very stressful on your
Mm.
body.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about exercise?
So, movement can help with insulin sensitivity, hormone regulation, stress reduction. But then again, consistency is key rather than intensity.
So stress is related to PCOS?
Yeah, exactly. Stress hormones can influence the body's hormonal environment.
Mm.
So, chronic stress can disrupt the cycle and affect how the body processes hormones.
Mm.
So that's why things like sleep, rest, recovery are actually very important parts of hormonal health.
Mm.
And for me personally, I find um, that when I'm very stressed, like there's been like occasions like throughout the year, like especially for work, particularly for what I do for work, it can be very stressful. And I've noticed those stressful periods actually push back my cycle. So whenever
Mm.
I think I'm gonna have my cycle, like it's coming up, I feel, you know, the phases kind of coming into play. I'm feeling like very moody, mood changes, and like, low energy. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get my period soon. And
Mm.
then I experience um a lot of stress during the week or from work or from other particular things in my life. And then I notice like that stress just like I just don't get my period at all, and I'm just like I wonder if that's actually related to that to my PCOS,
Mm.
which as I've just mentioned, it is like stress is a huge thing for
Mm-hmm.
PCOS.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, also I've noticed sorry, regular movement has helped me regulate my cycle.
Mm.
Like when I go to the gym like every week, a few days a week. I've noticed that I've actually tested this as well.
Okay.
So um I've been consistent with the gym
Mm.
for about 3 months, and then and I've noticed that within those 3 months, like I've gotten my period every month.
Mm.
I know,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So
exercise is very important.
exercise is important, and
Mm.
like I've mentioned, it's not about intensity, but it is about consistency and moving your body, and also reducing the stress on your body, because there is a lot of like known research that working out does reduce stress.
Mm.
Yeah, so I've noticed that worked for me, but obviously, as I've mentioned before, like it's not a one size fits all solution to this. Like, this is just something that's worked for me particularly.
Mm.
I've also noticed I haven't really been really good with my diet, so I haven't actually tested that factor yet.
Okay.
So maybe that is something I should try, because I've actually noticed that now that I've stopped going to the gym, um, I haven't gotten my period.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I actually need to get back on track with, you know, my
Yeah.
my
Back to the
consistent
gym.
routine.
Mm.
But yeah.
So you really have to be like clean girl
Yeah,
for
literally.
PCOS.
Yes. Yeah, you gotta be clean, girl. For
Yeah.
PCOS. 100%. 100%.
Okay.
Gosh, yeah, no. Oh,
Good to know though.
yeah. We don't
Yeah.
get it easy, eh?
Yeah. So like looking back at all of this, what are the biggest things that PCOS has taught you?
Okay, so some of the biggest things that PCOS have taught me along the way are that your body, okay, so I'm going to say that again. So some of the biggest things that PCOS have taught me is, number one, your body isn't broken, okay?
Mm.
That's a big one. Your body's not broken, girl. Like, PCOS is incredibly common, as we've learned. Like, 413 million women go through this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and understanding PCOS and how it works and how you can manage it is, empowering, empowering, and very important. Number two, education changes everything. Once you start learning about hormones, cycle, and metabolic health, you begin to understand to support your body better. Number three, there is no perfect approach. For me personally, consistent exercise, eating healthy, well, not lately, not lately, but that does help.
Mm-hmm.
And figuring out what works for you has helped me regulate my period.
Mm-hmm.
But the second I stop, so does so does my period. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And number four, community matters. Talking about these topics openly helps
Mm.
other women feel, less alone in these
Mm.
things. Like, I have mentioned PCOS to a few of my friends, and they have been, so supportive about it and
Mm.
understanding of it. Not that they personally go through it themselves, but they go through other similar things in their lives, which, we can all sort of somewhat relate to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and, it's good to know that, you're not alone.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm getting from this is check up on your friends, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Start conversations.
Yeah. So yeah.
Create a safe space for yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, hopefully this episode has helped explain PCOS a little bit more. I know it for sure did for me. And for anyone who is listening to, who also might be going through something similar.
Yeah, exactly. And if you've been diagnosed or suspect something might be off with your body, or your cycle, you're definitely not alone. PCOS is something, millions of women experience, yet conversations around it are still surprisingly limited.
Yeah, so the more we talk about it, the more we understand our bodies as well, and the more empowered women can feel and to navigate their health as well.
Yeah. So, we'll continue having conversations like this because women deserve to be more open and honest about their health.
100%.
Yes.
But yeah, is that it?
Oh, wait. Yeah, it's just like.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, thanks guys for listening.
Yeah, what are we going to talk about in our next episode?
So I think one of the biggest things that we've mentioned consistently throughout the last few episodes is hormones. Like, we've mentioned what it is, what it does, how it how it works within our body, but like, we haven't dived deeper into knowing. Wait, am I right? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay. We haven't dived deeper into knowing what like what other things does it affect? Like what is it actually like? Because hormones is such a broad term. I feel like there's like a billion things about hormones that we don't understand.
Mm. I think mainly with what we've been talking about too, so like PMS and PMDD. I feel like those
Mm.
two would be good to discuss.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Mm.
Yeah.
So yeah, join us for our next week's episode.
Yeah, join us
Yeah.
then. And thank you so much for listening.
Yeah. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.